What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, look, we've been talking about Riftbound quite a bit on here, yeah? And I'm getting a lot of you who are quite excited about Riftbound and want to know more about Riftbound. So I thought today might be a good day to have a little bit of a look at what might be the first winning Riftbound deck. Although this does come with a gigantic caveat. Alright? And the gigantic caveat is, we haven't actually seen the whole set yet. This was an unofficial tournament, essentially played with proxies. Now, it was over in China at a store which is claiming to be one of the biggest Riftbound stores in China. And it was a proper tournament. So look, I'm telling you all about this now. And I think this is a really good deck. But I do just want that caveat at the front here. This was shared over on Reddit by Zookeeper Game Top 7827. Okay, cool. And essentially, the way it worked out was, we had 3 copies of Victor in the top 8. We had 1 Teemo in the top 8. And we had 4 Master Yi. Half of the top 8 was Master Yi. And one of the things that I find so interesting about this, Master Yi is actually from Proving Grounds. Remember when I told you about Proving Grounds? This is supposed to be a product which is for beginners. It's supposed to be a learn to play product. It's not supposed to be full of super competitive cards. Now, I will tell you, it's only the Legend and the Champion unit which were actually used from Proving Grounds. Everything else was from Origin, so that does kind of back up the set as a whole is slightly weaker, as should be intended. But I'm telling you, Master Yi, and we are early, I cannot stress this enough, looking like the leader for best Legend in Riftbound. So what do we have? Well, with Master Yi, we've got when a friendly unit defends alone, it gets +2 might. If you can't flood the board with units, which a lot of the time you're not going to be able to do, yeah, use this. Go for it. And actually, that kind of makes sense. This seems like it might be pretty strong. Now, in terms of runes, I should say they just went for 6/6, Calm Rune and Body Rune. You're going to have 12 runes and 2 types with your Legend, so I expect in the early days to see a lot of 6/6 splits. Remember, we are very early in deck building. We've also got 3 battlefields here. We've got the Dreaming Tree. The first time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here each turn, draw 1. So, extra draw, that sounds good. The Arena's Greatest. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player gains 1 point. This is a way of just accelerating the game. Both players are gaining points, but if you think you can rush your opponent, this is going to shorten the game. That's a good thing. And Fortified Position. When you defend here, choose a unit. It gains shield to this combat. That gives +2 might while it's a defender. But bearing in mind, your Legend is already giving +2 when you're defending alone. So Fortified Position plus Master Yi, you're going to start really building up these solo units to defend very, very effectively. Now, we are also going to need a Champion unit here. We've gone for Master Yi Honed. Well, we got 6 might, which is really good. And we've got ourselves a cost of 7. It's expensive, right? We got an energy cost of 7, a power cost of 1, but it's got ganking, and you enter ready. So you enter ready and then can immediately move to another battlefield. This is going to make a very big difference as we go along. Cool. It is interesting to note that the signature spell that Master Yi got in Proving Grounds isn't in the deck here. So they're not playing that Highlander signature spell. Choosing not to. Going without it. So what have we got then? What cards are in play? Well, we've got Defy, energy cost of 1, power cost of 1, its reaction, and you counter cheap spells, no more than 4. You are countering small spells, but you're doing it very, very cheaply. We've got On Guard. Now here we've got an energy cost of 1, very cheap card. A lot of cheap cards in this deck, probably not a coincidence. By the way, except for the Champion unit, we are maxing out here. We're just going free of everything, and then 1 Champion unit. That's it. That's the deck. So everything is a free of here. On Guard is another reaction, And it gives a friendly unit +1 might this turn, then an additional +1 might if it's the only unit you control there. And look how this is building up. Master Yi is giving you +2 might. Fortified Position is giving you +2 might. On Guard is giving you +2 might. All of these on the assumption that you are defending alone. And all of a sudden, you can have a lone defender who's at like a +6. And you've only actually paid 1 to make this happen. Because your legend is not costing you anything. Your battlefield is not costing you anything. That's kind of awesome. Flurry of Blades does 1 damage to all units at battlefields. No one at home, but at all the battlefields. That one might be relevant in a moment. Charm moves an enemy unit. 1 cost. Well, we got energy cost of 1, power cost of 1. And the thing here is that what you can do is move an enemy unit away. Now, I could move an enemy unit to a battlefield where you know you're going to win anyway, just to play a bit more control. But if you're defending alone a lot, which this deck really does seem to want to be doing, if you just need 1 unit moved away before you can defend effectively, Charm will help to make it happen. Now, Pit Rookie is a unit. We've got a bunch of spells here, but we do have a few units. Pit Rookie is a unit, and we've got ourselves energy cost of 2, might of 2. When you play me, buff another friendly unit. +1 might, as long as it doesn't already have a buff. You can't stack buffs. Hang on a second. This just seems really themed here. This is a deck where we've just gone, let's buff up units, so we're playing fewer units, but we are buffing them up, and they're defending alone a lot, but that's fine, because they can. Stalwart Poro is another 2-cost unit, 2 might, but it's got shield. +1 might while you're defending. But bearing in mind we got all the other cards, so that, that's Stalwart Poro, it's got 2 might. But if it's defending alone, Master Yi puts it up to 4 might. Fortified Position puts it up to 6 might. On Guard puts it up to 8 might. Its own shield puts it up to 9 might. Oh, that builds up quickly. Discipline is a 2-cost spell. It's a reaction. Give a unit +2 might this turn and draw 1. Yeah, we are really buffing our units hilariously here. And this is why Master Yi turns into such a good deck. If you're playing a deck and your main goal is, I want to buff my units, obviously we've got all the cards that can be played with Master Yi that buff the units, yay. But Master Yi themselves, +2 when you're defending alone, it looks like the perfect legend for this kind of deck. Now, Zonya's Hourglass is a 2-cost gear. It's hidden, and the next time a friendly unit would die, kill this instead. Recall that unit exhausted, which might look kind of familiar to Highlander, and it is, but it's a 2-cost, not a 4-cost. So it's not that we don't want to save our units when they die, it's essentially the fact that we can do it with Highlander, or we can do it with Zonya's Hourglass, so yeah, let's do that instead. Wielder of Water is a 3-cost 2 might unit, and while you're attacking or defending alone, +2 might. Seriously, the theming here is strong. You're taking these low-cost units, so far we're looking at 2 and 3-cost units. They're generally, I haven't shown you a unit yet with more than 2 might, naturally. But because they all buff themselves, and then your leader buffs you, and your battlefield buffs you, and your spells buff you, it gets dumb. We got Windwall. Now, Windwall has an energy cost of 3, but a power cost of 2. But you counter any spell. I already showed you Defy, which can counter cheap spells, but Windwall can counter any spell here. So what you're really worried about when you're playing these decks where you're playing these low-cost units and buffing them up, you're worried about spells coming along and taking out your units in a way that stops you taking advantage of all the buffs. That's why we got stuff like Windwall in here to stop that happening. And then we finish off with 3 slightly bigger units. Kiana, 4 cost, 4 might, 4 energy cost, 1 power cost. It's a champion unit, and we've got Deflect, which makes your opponent pay to choose a spell or ability. Again, making it more difficult to take out your units with spells. It's another really strong theme in this deck. And when you conquer, draw a card or channel a rune exhausted. Not a coincidence that we've got a bit of draw going on here. Draw is always good. Carnivorous Snapvine. Now this has 6 might, but it's got an energy cost of 5, power cost of 2. But when you play me, choose an enemy unit at a battlefield. We deal damage equal to our mights to each other. But if you're 6 might, you can just choose something a little bit smaller. It's going to take something out when you play it. This is the part of the deck where we start getting a little bit bigger. And then Warwick, we got an energy cost of 6. We got a power cost of 1, might of 5. You enter ready. And when you attack, you kill all damaged units here. Might I remind you about Flurry of Blades? Deal 1 to all units at battlefields. So Warwick comes in, and the battlefield where you come in, you attack and kill all damaged enemy units. But of course, the whole point here is you use Flurry of Blades. All the enemy units are damaged. They all get killed by Warwick, and you just take the battlefield nice and easily. Oh, look how that worked out. This deck looks fun and infuriating, and it's pretty straightforward and pretty well themed. It is very much, I am going to buff my units. If I'm defending alone, it doesn't matter. Honestly, a lot of the time it's going to be preferable. And I'm going to be defending with single units that are massively buffed. I'm going to be countering you with spells. And I got a couple things at the top end that can start to wreck when we get to that point of the game. I'm not saying Master Yi is the best deck in Riftbound. We don't know. We're not there yet. I absolutely am telling you that it is the early leader in the clubhouse. It was half of this top 8 in China. And it looks incredibly strong. We are not at the release of the first set yet. This was an early pre-release tournament. Please bear that in mind. But look, you're hungry for Riftbound news like I'm hungry for Riftbound news. There is a deck which is getting a lot of pop that we can talk about, and that is the kind of thing we're going to be talking about on this channel. But we have now, so now it's over to you guys. Do you think Master Yi is as strong as it looks, or do you think it's overblown? Let me know in the comment section. Get us. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Riftbound and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.